We have followed Milarepa through the whole arc of his life, from the bright child of Kaya and Gatsa to the green-skinned hermit singing in his cave. Now let us pause and ask what that life actually teaches us. Of all the lessons hidden in his story, none is more startling than this one. A man who murdered 35 people through black magic, who darkened a whole valley with hail and grief, became, in that very same body, a fully awakened being, not in some distant future life, not after countless rebirths of slow repair. In one lifetime, that single fact has comforted and astonished Tibetans for nearly 1,000 years, and it deserves our careful attention. To understand it, we have to understand karma, and we have to understand it correctly, because the word is often badly misused. Karma simply means action, and it points to a law as natural as gravity. Every intentional deed leaves a trace. Wholesome actions, born of kindness and clarity, ripen into well-being. Harmful actions, born of hatred, greed, and confusion, ripen into suffering. Milarepa knew this in his bones. When the weight of the 35 deaths fell upon him, he was not merely sad, he was terrified, because he understood that such acts could doom him to ages of torment. His remorse was not vague guilt. It was the clear-eyed recognition of a man who sees exactly what he has set in motion. And here is the first great teaching. Karma is not fate. This is the heart of it. Many people imagine that karma is a kind of cosmic punishment, a sentence handed down that one can only serve out. That is fatalism, and the Buddhist view is its opposite. Because karma is action, and because we are always acting, the stream can be redirected. The seeds already planted may still bear fruit, but new seeds, sown deliberately and with great force of purification, can transform the whole field. The past is not a cage. It is a debt that can, with enormous effort, be paid in full. But notice what redemption actually required of Milarepa, because this is where cheap hope falls away. It did not come from wishing, nor from a single tearful apology, nor from the simple passage of time. 3 things had to come together. First, genuine remorse, the kind that shakes a person to the core and makes him willing to change everything. Second, a true path, real methods of purification given by a real teacher. And third, the willingness to undergo whatever that purification demanded. Remember the stone towers. Remember the open, bleeding wound on his back. Marpa's terrible trials were not cruelty for its own sake. They were the grinding stone on which a monstrous karma was worn down to nothing, so that the deaths of those 35 people would not have to be repaid across lifetimes in the hells. The harshness was the mercy. So the message of hope here is real, but it is not soft. It says that no one is lost forever. It says that there is no darkness so deep that the light cannot reach it, no deed so heavy that it cannot, in principle, be transformed. This is one of the most humane ideas any tradition has ever offered. It refuses to write anyone off. The murderer, the betrayer, the person crushed by shame over things done long ago, all of them are told the same thing Milarepa was told. You can begin again. The door is open, but it also says, quietly and without flattery, that walking through that door costs everything you have. Let us bring this down to where we actually live, because Milarepa's story is not a museum piece. Most of us carry some private weight, some action we wish undone, some harm we caused that we cannot take back. The ordinary response is to bury it or to drown in it, and both of these are forms of paralysis. The story of Milarepa offers a third way. Look at what you did clearly, without turning away and without despair. Let the remorse be honest, then act. Set the stream moving in a new direction through real, sustained change, however hard it proves to be. We will not all build stone towers, but each of us has our own walls to raise and tear down, our own patient labor of repair. The point is that the labor is possible, and that it works. What Milarepa's whole life proves, then, is that a human being is never merely the sum of his worst moments. We are not frozen pictures of our past. We are rivers, always in motion, and the direction of the flow can be changed by the one who is willing to do the work. The same hands that called down the killing hail later folded in meditation in a freezing cave. The same heart that burned with vengeance came to overflow with compassion for every living thing. That transformation is not a fairy tale. It is the most exacting realism, a clear account of what a person becomes when remorse meets a true path and refuses to let go. Yet none of it, not one step of it, would have been possible alone. Milarepa could not have purified himself by his own strength, however fierce his will. He needed Marpa, and more than that, he needed an almost unimaginable trust in Marpa, a devotion that could endure rejection, cruelty, and despair without breaking. That bond between teacher and disciple, so strange and so demanding to our modern eyes, is the subject we turn to next. In the following chapter, we will ask what such devotion really means, why Marpa's harshness was love in disguise, and how suffering itself can become the truest of teachers.